Hey guys and gals, I'm Chris, aka ChristopherJMUA, and welcome back to my channel. Today we've got a mini haul from TJMAXX. We've got a rainbow palette and a few other products just to try out for the face. So if you'd like to see what I got and how this look turns out, stay exactly where you are, keep doing exactly what you're doing, and keep on watching. So when I went this time, they really didn't have a whole lot of really exciting stuff, but there were a few things that I saw that I did get a little bit excited about, like this Revolution X Alexis Stone Instinct palette. You know, Pride Month, it's June, we're going into all the rainbow colors, and this is definitely a rainbow palette. So I'm gonna create something rainbow and pridey today, I just don't know what. And this palette was $9.99. I don't know how much it was when it got into Ulta or when it released for sure, but I thought $9.99 was a pretty good price for how many shades are in this palette. I have a feeling though she's gonna be the star of the show. And like I said, for the other products, there's just a few other items. I found this Pacifica Alight foundation. It was super affordable, $3.99, and they actually had a shade that looks like it might be close to my shade. This one is 40NF Neutral Fair, and it looks kind of my oh, whoa, that actually looks way too light. Well, we're gonna try it anyway. Maybe I can bronze it up, make it work for me. Also found this JOAH Beauty Double Take Sculpt and Highlight Stick. It was $13, but I'm assuming that's probably a better price than what it was originally, because JOAH's not the most affordable brand. Also grabbed a Milk Makeup Highlighter Stick. This is in the shade Supernova. That one was $5.99. And I've always wanted to try this, just never really had the opportunity to purchase it at some discounted price, and I wasn't gonna pay retail for it. But the NARS Light Reflecting Setting Powder, this one was $12.99, and I know NARS is pretty pricey. And last, this isn't anything special to most people, I'm sure, but this is a Morphe M224 brush, and it was $3.99. And I do know I'm gonna be doing some kind of cut crease today, mainly because I have this brush, and look at how clean and detailed that brush is. How clean of an oval line that has. That is going to be perfect for cut creases. So first, let's go ahead and prime this skin, then we'll work on seeing if that foundation's gonna work. I'm sure none of you are surprised, but I'm starting with the Bobbi Brown Vitamin-Enriched Face Base, as per usual. And just to make sure my pores are nice and filled, the Benefit Hydrate Primer. What is this, Professional? Yeah, Professional Hydrate Primer. Okay, I've got a wet sponge and a brush ready because I have no clue how this is gonna go, so let's find out together. Oh no! Ugh, it's been pumped out. Oh, I really hope that somebody didn't like open it and mess with it and ugh. But we're gonna be rather safe than sorry. Take an alcohol wipe. We're just gonna go ahead and clean the outside just in case. You know, you never know. You never know who opened this bottle and what they did with it. And we're gonna pump just one or two pumps out. Just get it out of there. Now let's see how it looks. Yeah, that is gonna be way too light for me. That's almost white. That's, yeah, that's not gonna work, but I'm gonna use it anyway. Yeah, no, that's pasty on me. That's ghostly white. Oh my gosh. Oh, this is a terrible idea. This will at least give me a chance to see if I like the formula or not. It looks so dumb. Ugh. Okay, whatever, it's happening. This is gonna be a great foundation for Halloween. I wonder if it's gonna have enough coverage to get rid of my 5 o'clock shadow and my razor burn that I've been getting on my neck. It's been so bad lately. Oh God, I look like a ghost. You know what? The finish is actually really pretty. I'd say it's probably got maybe more of a medium coverage, at least with that first application, but it blends into the skin really beautifully. I mean, it looks like my skin still. It looks nice and covered and corrected, obviously. You know what, for $3.99, I'll take it. Not the color, obviously, but the finish and the coverage that it's got, I like that. But I've got to go in with something a little bit darker just to kind of bring this back to my skin tone a little bit. But I am gonna leave the highlighted areas still with this foundation. I've just got to deepen it some before I go in with a bronzer and all my other face products, because I don't think this is gonna diminish at all with a bronzer. So Nick sent over some of these Born to Glow foundations a while back, and the darkest shade they sent me was 07 Natural. It does look a little bit deeper than my skin tone, so maybe I can mix these two and make something that at least resembles Sanity. I don't know, but we'll try. I just don't want to mix another foundation too much because I still do want to see how this Pacifica foundation looks and wears on the skin as the day progresses and once my makeup application is actually complete. That is definitely darker than me and a lot warmer than me too. I have no idea if this is gonna work or not, or if I'm just gonna be stuck with a bigger mess than I had before. Worst case, I'll just take it all off and start all over and we can use what other products we have. Okay, you know what? It's definitely not perfect, but it's better. And for the way it did look versus the way it looks now, I'll take better. Better is just fine with me. Now hopefully we can fix this a little bit more with the JOAH Double Take Sculpt and Strobe Stick. That's what it's actually called, not strobe and highlight stick. Oh no, this has stuff on the outside too. What kind of situation am I about to walk into? Let me get another alcohol wipe. Okay, the outside is clean. Moment of truth. Ew, yuck. Well, at least that does look like somebody maybe just took the cap off and tried to put it back on and missed. It doesn't look like a finger or anything has been in it. I can work with that. And again, just to be on the safe side, I'm gonna just wipe some of it off onto the alcohol pad. That would definitely sanitize the top of it and make sure that what's on the surface level that did get touched isn't gonna touch my skin. That is dark. That is really dark. I don't know that this is gonna work for me. But you know what? Foundation's too light, contour bronzer's too dark. It sounds like a trip to TJMAXX. Oh no, I just realized that on the actual component, it says this is the shade Brown Sugar. The box says Bronze Venus. So this isn't even the same stick that was in that box. So the highlighter's probably not gonna be bronze. Well, that's sort of bronzy, and I don't see any fingerprints at all in the top of it, but I'm still going to sanitize it. I just don't wanna take a chance, especially after seeing what we've seen so far. Ooh, that is a really pretty gold though. Like a golden champagne, kind of. Oh, this is gonna be so bad. Let's just do it. Yep, there's no way. There's no way that that is gonna blend out to be anything that's gonna work with my skin tone. Little did you know, coming into this video, you were coming to see a hot mess. Or just a mess, whatever you wanna call it. Wow, this is really, really creamy though. I mean, it's just like sliding off of the stick. I'm barely touching my skin with it, and it's putting a ton of pigment down. Even just little taps of it like that are transferring a lot of color. It makes it look even darker being top of this way too light for me foundation. You know, once the color starts getting blended out, it's actually not too bad. I mean, obviously it is still way too dark for me, or at least way too dark for this foundation, but I can see this being a really good drag contour. I mean, the drama is there. I probably should have stuck with just one little line of contour up here. Oh, this is such a mess. What am I doing with my life? I can't stand myself right now. Ugh. Do you see how nicely that blends though? I mean, that's probably been sitting on my face for, I don't know, 6 or 7 minutes, and not even a spot of it dried where it was. I haven't contoured this heavily since 2020. I also haven't been this bad at contour since 2020. Now that I've got to try and blend this together somehow, I'm gonna wet my face just a little bit. I'm just gonna use some MAC Fix Plus just to give me a little bit of moisture, so maybe this will all melt in together. Oh, finally, I feel like I just ran a marathon, but I feel like we're at least blended enough that I'm not completely Casperized anymore. I look like I've got cheekbones for days though. I'm not mad about that either. Now, obviously I don't really need a whole lot and I don't need to use it for highlighting, but I'm gonna go ahead and add just a little bit of concealer under the eyes. Around the nostrils, because I always get my foundation breaking up in that area. And I also really need to clean up these cheekbones. Oh, I'm so glad this is kind of coming together a little bit. That was terrifying. The whole time, this has been terrifying. You know what? I don't even care how the rest of this goes. The fact that this actually blended out to be something that I could at least come back from, that's satisfaction enough for me. So let's see if this Supernova highlighter can ruin things or help things. Maybe I'll get lucky and this one won't be swatched or broken or touched or messed up everywhere. Oh, I just stuck my fingernail in it. But good news! It didn't have anything wrong with it until I did that. That little gash out of it. I'm not quite sure sure what the best method to apply this is. I know the cheek stains, essentially they're stick blushes. I usually just use my finger with those because if I try to use a brush, it tends to pull my foundation up. So I'm just gonna start with my finger anyway, just to see if it will blend in nicely or if it's gonna destroy everything. Ooh, that's a really pretty color. Like a soft lilac-y lavender. They call this a holographic stick. I don't know that I see any kind of holographic anything happening. It doesn't really even look that dimensional, but it does look sort of lavendery, and that's cute, at least. Well, that's kind of disappointing. It's not really doing much of anything. I guess I'll take the chance. Maybe it'll rip up on my concealer, I don't know, but we'll just see if I can maybe apply it directly and it get a little bit more intense and pigmented. It is more intense and pigmented, that is no doubt. Maybe we can use the sponge to just sort of dab it in a little bit. Now it's starting to pull up the foundation. I have a feeling this is gonna be one of those highlighters that are really only gonna work if you don't have a whole lot of foundation on. If you've got maybe a tinted moisturizer, or if you're just putting it on bare skin, it might work a little bit better. Man, that's really disappointing. I was really excited about that because it was purple and like iridescent. I thought it was gonna be really pretty, but I guess what we're gonna do instead is just try the JOAH Beauty one, the golden one, and see if maybe that will apply and not destroy everything. I might just have to go ahead and set my face, then go in with some highlighter, but we'll see. This golden one looks really pretty, so it might work out. Whoa, that is very golden. Apparently I've decided if it works or not, it's the highlighter I'm putting everywhere, because that's what I've done. I think that actually works really beautifully. I like that. It's nothing crazy, it's not like a supernova highlighter, but it is a really pretty golden kind of lit from within glowy highlighter. If you had deeper skin, this specific stick would work wonders. But for being a somewhat pale white boy, I think it worked out. Now we get to try the NARS powder. I've been wanting to try this for so long. I hope it's good. I've heard so many good things about it. And this one's in the shade Translucent Crystal. So not just translucent, it's translucent crystal. Oh good, and we've got a seal on the top still. I don't have to worry that this one has been poked and prodded in the TJMAXX shelves. Let's make sure we get this creasing blended out first though. We don't want to have any creasing that we're locking in, especially with a light reflecting powder. This hot weather recently has gotten my brain feeling so foggy and like bogged down and gross. I feel it a lot today. Is it hot where you guys are? I mean, I feel like it's hot like everywhere right now, except the obvious places that wouldn't be hot ever. It just seems like it's burning up everywhere. And next week, oh my gosh, next week, it's supposed to be, I think like 98, 99. And since I'm in Arkansas, it's super humid all the time. So as soon as you walk outside, it's like this gross, sticky heat. Feels like you just got out of a pool or a sauna. Wow, that's really smoothing. That under eye looks so much softer and blurred on that side than that one does. Obviously, this is my first time using this powder, but so far, this is gorgeous. It makes everything so smooth and perfect. And typically I like to let my loose powder bake for just a little bit, just to lock in the smoothed part of my fine lines while they are still smooth. So we're just gonna let that bake a bit. I'm gonna go ahead and set the rest of my face off camera, and I'll be right back with all this dusted away so we'll be able to see how it looks. I think the face is actually okay now that it's all done and set. By the way, I set it with this little Pacifica Perfect Lotus Natural Universal Powder that I found. I didn't even know I had a Pacifica powder, but I guess I did. So I figured why not go ahead and use a Pacifica powder for Pacifica foundation. I also used the Benefit Georgia blush and the Fenty Beauty Trophy Wife Kilowatt highlighter. I thought they would kind of match the vibe we had going already. But now let's get to the star of the show, the Makeup Revolution X Alexis Stone eyeshadow palette. Just in case you haven't seen this palette before, here's what she looks like. So it's a full matte palette, just a bunch of rainbow shades. Oh, I'm gonna have to take the tape off, but you can still see it. It's just got the full rainbow across, but then variations of that full rainbow all the way down. So this ends up being a good palette, and you're looking for something that is rainbow, this will give you that. Now I completely just realized that I haven't used this eyeshadow palette before, so I have no clue how it's gonna perform. So I need to take a little bit more powder and put it back under my eyes just in case there's a ton of fallout, so I can at least brush it away, hopefully. Just gonna prime with some P. Louise base real quick. Okay, I wanna do kind of a simple rainbow look, like just sort of your basic throw it on and you have a rainbow sort of look. Mainly because I just wanna test out this palette, just because I wanna see if it can accomplish what I want. So on the first side here, I'm gonna take yellow. Oh, I guess it would help if you knew which yellow. This one, the main like primary yellow, almost. Not quite primary, it's actually more of like a warm golden dandelion yellow. I would say the yellow worked beautifully. That went on really pigmented, but I was able to blend it out and make it soft around this inner corner edge, so I didn't have to deal with just a solid line of yellow. If you've worked with those kinds of pigments, you know exactly what I'm talking about, and it sucks when it happens. I just realized there's no orange in here. You know, the rainbow is Roy G. Biv. Red, orange, yellow, green, blue, indigo, violet. I'm gonna be doing the warm tones on one side, the blue tones on the other side. So this side would be yellow, orange, and red. But there is no orange. It goes yellow and all the versions of yellow, and red and all the versions of red. So I guess I'm gonna try to just take this like primary red and apply it right beside the yellow and then start blending the edge of it, and maybe it will turn into an orange. This is the part where I'm most afraid of fallout, because this outer edge, I don't have faith that there's not gonna be fallout on the outer edge. Then it's gonna fall down and I won't have a nice clean line. But let me not speak too soon. It could happen beautifully. Is that looking pink or red? Sometimes I look at it and it looks solid red, then other times it looks kind of pinky and I can't really tell. Now I'm using the same exact yellow and the same exact brush, and I'm just gonna take it over the red and then start to blend the two together. Oh, perfect. It's already turning orange. Thank goodness. I was so worried. It is still kind of odd to me that they would include every other color of the rainbow, but not orange. And just like that, I have orange. That took like zero work. That's really awesome. There are so many instances when you're working with an eyeshadow palette and you try to get two shades to blend into a new color and they don't turn into a new color. They just blend themselves together and it's just a smooth gradient between the two. This actually did what we needed it to do. And just like that, we're ready for the cool tone side. Now, since we've got red, orange, yellow, it should be green and then blue, then violet. So I think the most primary green, like the real green, is this one, I think. That one looks pretty blue. That one looks like it has a little blue in it. That one's more like a foresty green. So let's go with this. Let's pretend this is primary green. This green does seem to be taking a little bit longer to build up than both the red and the yellow. I noticed I have more troubles out of greens than most other shades. Sometimes blues every now and then, but definitely green. Speaking of blue, now let's figure out which one we're gonna use. I guess the really, really dark one is the closest to primary there is. This one is prettier and I like it more, but it's not like a primary blue. It's more like a sky blue. Oh, I don't care. That's the one we're using. It matches my shirt, so it was meant to be. That's my story and I'm sticking to it. Wait, is this right? Green, blue, purple, yeah. I'm just building up the blue outside of the green so they don't start blending just yet. That is a beautiful blue. Oh my gosh. I really like that one. Okay, majority of the pigment is applied. So let me tap off anything else that's left on the brush and then just start working upward and blend it into the brow. She's pretty. Then just grab my green brush and a little bit more green and blend. Can you see how smooth, blended, and beautiful that looks? I'm so glad I found this for $9.99. Of course, when I was working at Ulta, I saw this palette all the time. I just never really got the chance. I mean, yes, I had the chance to buy it, but I never really had the will to want to buy it. There was never a moment when I was just like, oh, I've got to get that right now. But at $9.99, I had to. I had to. It's massive. And it's June. Okay, now, finally, we're to purple. And I think I'm gonna use this middle purple. That one looks a little too dark, that one looks a little too pinky. So I think this one should be just perfect. This brush might be too big, but the color should be just fine. I've got to remember to keep my mirror out of the frame. I mean, if it annoys me a lot when I'm editing, it's got to at least annoy you guys a little bit. I'm gonna switch to a smaller mirror for you guys because I feel like I just keep putting up that big mirror and the camera just keeps focusing on it and it's not focusing on my face, so I'm changing that now. Ooh, the purple's getting a little bit splotchy looking. Now that might be because I didn't take my eyeshadow base all the way out to where I'm bringing the purple. That's probably it, actually. Just kind of disappointing because it was going so perfect. Everything was so smooth and pigmented. But now that I'm going on top of a dry powder, it doesn't really want to be pigmented anymore. But that makes sense. I mean, just kind of the way it works if you go on top of a powder. There we go. Now it's building. Okay, I'm gonna stop adding pigment before it just blows out and gets too crazy. So again, tap off all of the excess and just blend up and into the brow first. Gonna connect it down to the little point that I've got going. I'm going back to the blue to make this happen though, because if I try to use the brush with the purple and blend it, the purple's gonna end up way over here, and I really don't wanna have the purple end up being the majority of the look. So I'm just gonna take the blue, add it a little bit on top of the purple and also on top of itself, and then blend. Oh, good. I'll admit I was kind of scared because I didn't know, since this wasn't a primary blue, exactly what color it was going to turn into once it started blending into the purple. But I think that's pretty. It goes from like that tealy blue to more of a blue-based purple, then the warm-based purple, indigo, violet, you know? So I am definitely okay with that. I think that is a great look, blended together beautifully. And with that, that's literally how easy it is to make a rainbow on your eyes. If I wouldn't have stopped and talked so much throughout the entire process, that probably would have taken me maybe 10 minutes. In actuality, it's been like an hour, but okay, let me dust this powder away. I bet my under eyes are gonna look really dry after leaving that powder on this whole time. Now I know I said that I was gonna do a cut crease using the super sharp brush, but I think I'm gonna save this brush for the next look, because what I really wanna do is use some of my Gerard Cosmetics Eternal eyeliner and essentially cut my crease with the eyeliner and fill in my whole lid black, and then make a little wing out to the side. Sort of like a graphic liner, but filled instead. I just think that would look really cool with a rainbow sort of pride moment, and I haven't tried it before, and I'm willing to give it a shot. Worst case, if it goes wrong, you'll see it, and we can take it all off. Okay, you know what? I think that is all right. I do not hate it. Interesting shape. It kind of reminds me of the 80s. Is there a black in this palette? There's a pretty dark gray. I think I'm gonna try and set this eyeliner with this dark gray, and I don't know, see what happens. I've never even tried to set this eyeliner before, so I don't even know if it'll work. It might ruin the eyeliner look. I don't think it ruined anything. Actually, I think it set it just perfectly, made it not feel so tacky, and now when I open my eyes and close them again, my lid's not sticking to my crease. Then again, I could have just waited until the eyeliner dried, but that requires patience, and who has that? I don't. Okay, now I'm gonna try being the key word, to do this other eye off camera and make it look just like this one. Wish me luck, and I'll be right back. Our look is now complete. Obviously, we have a lot of black going on, but we still got a little bit of rainbow, so I'm happy with it. I don't really know yet what this video is gonna be called. It's a TJMAXX haul, that was the original intent, but now it turned into sort of like a rainbow eyeshadow tutorial, so call it what you will. We are done with the look. I feel like our TJMAXX haul was a little lackluster. The palette, I really like the palette. The black is a little underwhelming. It took a lot of building even to get to just this level of black, and I feel like this level of black isn't even fully black, at least not as black as the Gerard Cosmetics eyeliner is. So that part was a little bit disappointing, but the colors are gorgeous, and they were pigmented, and they blended together beautifully, as you saw. Now the Pacifica foundation, when it was still wet on my skin, I really liked it. I thought it was really pretty, but once I set it and I started looking a lot closer, I don't know that I love it quite as much as I did. It just looks a little dry, a little not quite cakey, but kind of thick. And I didn't really even use that much. I mean, it says on the bottle that it's got a satin finish, but I don't see that. On my forehead, I do, but that's where I put concealer at. And then the contour bronzer, I don't know, it's just definitely not my favorite. Plus, having a shade that's like 5 shades too light for me, that definitely didn't help the situation, but I just don't think I like the formula all that much now that it's actually set. I'm gonna have to give it another shot though, maybe mix it with a little bit of my moisturizer and thin it out, use it like sort of a tinted moisturizer and see if maybe it would work a little bit better like that, because it is oil free and it says it's anti-shine. So I would imagine it's probably got a lot of slip and it would be really good mixed with something else. I'm definitely gonna have to find my shade of this JOAH stick because this was actually really pretty. I can't believe I managed to get it blended out and mixed with other colors enough that it didn't end up staying looking like this shade, because this was really dark. But that just goes to show how creamy and blendable it is because it was able to blend out something that wasn't nearly as intense. So I would like to try my shade of this. I'm definitely going to be purchasing the correct version of this for me, and maybe something without a gold highlighter, because I'm not really a fan of like golden gold highlighters. I'm more of like a champagne gold. Speaking of highlighters, I'm so sad that this wasn't just really pretty. I was hoping we were going to have some really vivid and bright, colorful kind of highlight vibes from this, like this. I wanted it to look like this, but on my face. But I just think with the consistency that it is and the formula that it is, it's just not gonna work if you have a full face of makeup on, or if you have any coverage to that full face of makeup. And then this NARS light reflecting powder. Oh my goodness, I'm so glad I decided to get this time, and I really regret the fact that I never got it before at its retail value, because I would pay the retail value for this. It does have some glitter pieces in it, and usually that really turns me off for loose powders, really anything, but they're so fine that you really can't see them unless you take like a light and you start looking for them. But the way that it reflects light, like look at my under eyes, the way that it reflects that light off of my under eyes and bounces it back, you can't see any texture there or any detail there because it's so smooth looking, and I love that. If you can get rid of my under eye texture, I love you. So I love this powder for sure. With the powder, that's our last product in our mini Pride Month rainbow look tutorial TJMAXX haul. I'll have to edit that down a bit. I'd like to thank each and every one of you for hanging out with me during this video. If you enjoyed it, please don't forget to give me a thumbs up and hit the subscribe button right down there, and hit the little notification bell right beside subscribe so that you'll get notified whenever I upload a new video. Also, if you like this look and you want to see more looks like them, you can follow me on Instagram, Twitter, Snapchat, and TikTok. My username is the same for everything. It's just ChristopherJMUA. And if you gain nothing out of this video, if you gain nothing out of any of my videos, then please at least gain this. And that is to always remember and to never forget that you are absolutely beautiful. And I love you guys. Bye!